I say good morning this way. Good morning to each and everybody. Hopefully we're on the same page. Just microphone check from here to there, microphone check from one place to the other. And hopefully we're live on 3 different portals as we normally are. My name is Akin Lawyer, and this is Canada. I'll say one thing for sure, which is my normal tribute or greeting or a way of appreciating and glorifying my maker in the morning. And if you're very used to this show, you would understand how I go about things, especially in the morning hour. This is Canada as a flagship from CradleRadio that allows you to hear things, happenings, events, be it social, political, cultural, economical happenings around Canada. And if perchance those things happens to be a part of something you could borrow from your part of the world, you're very much welcome. And I'll say this for sure, we're thankful for the gift of life from this stable. And that's what we do. You can contribute, you could be a part of it, you could join our social media handles, and we could keep it rocking that way. And I always thank God for the gift of life. This is not anything that some people might understand, but I believe a lot of people don't understand. It all depends on how you glorify your maker. You know, some people go religious with it, some people go meditational with it, and some people have a way of having to communicate with their maker in different ways. Either ways, you understand and you believe you have somebody out there that's watching out for you. So I'm not trying to sway nobody into my religious beliefs. I'm just saying I'm happy, I'm grateful for being here. I'm happy and grateful for the gift of life, for being able to wake up in the morning, appreciative of events, even things that I need to have to handle on my own on side of the world. I'm still grateful because for all things, there's always a purpose. There's always a reason. And I go philosophical sometimes and I go rhetorical sometimes. But either ways, I am still grateful. For shortcomings, I'm grateful. For long comings, I'm grateful. For long awakenings, I'm grateful. For visions and perceptions, I'm grateful. For endurance, I'm grateful. For belief, I'm grateful. And for promises, I'm grateful. And for manifestation, I'm grateful. For rescue, I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to none other than my maker at all times. I'm but human, and He finds me worthy. I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. That's my way of saying thankful to my Maker in the morning hour. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty of things this morning. This is going to be a bumpy ride. If you've missed us for quite a number of days, we appreciate that. We saw your emails and all that as well. It's appreciative knowing people out there watching out for you, and it's really appreciated in all ways. Well, here we go. Now, before the little hiatus for the number of days that we've had, we were talking about fertilizers, and as it concerns Canada. That's right. Now, if you've never been a part of this show before and you bumped into it, it's called This is Canada. And being This is Canada doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for Canadians. It could be for friends of Canada, friends of Canadians, and friends of Canadians, and adversaries as well. We could always learn something, from people we don't even like as well, or people or a nation we don't like. We could learn one thing from there about happenings around the world. We could always borrow things, ideas, visions, which we could use in imputing into our own needed obligations, and we could, get to have a field day with that. And what could we say? Well, this is what we do. Now, we were talking about fertilizers, I think it was last week. We were meant to bring it to you on Thursday. We had a lot up our sleeves, but we're here now. And I didn't even know up until now that Canadian fertilizers are like the big boy fertilizers in the whole world. I never thought about, when you say fertilizers, you know what fertilizers are, right? Okay, so I don't need to now start defining this and that. Agriculturists will definitely be in tune with this one this morning, and hence we've got relevant hashtags this morning as well. Hashtag Canadian fertilizers, hashtag Portage Power, and hashtag farmers at risk, because our farmers, fertilizer producers might just be at risk with this that's coming in the fall. Now, what we bring to you is not to be a form of alarmist at any given time. That's not the whole essence of it. We just want to draw the attention of people to things happening around, and hopefully it could be corrected, nipped, and it could be sorted out in a way that it wouldn't affect this great nation of ours. Because let me tell you something, winter is here. And when I say winter is here, I mean winter is here. And it's going to be a bumpy ride in 2026. I ain't spelling doom. I know everybody wants to be objective, and positive. I'm not a pessimist. I'm none. I even believe in magic, right? So, pessimism is not my forte. The realization of things that can happen out of the extraordinary, out of the ordinary, is that place that I stand. And so I was looking at fertilizers, and because some people might just think, okay, what we going to talk about? On This is Canada, we primarily don't do trending things. We want to deal with real people stuff. That's why you will never see me talking about what they call themselves, popular actors and all that, and socialites. No, it's for some other people. I appreciate their art and all that they come with in terms of their expertise, their profession, and all that. But no, we're not doing that. We do real people stuff, things that would affect Canada, things that might be going good in Canada. The other time we were talking about doctors' wars, which was relatively interesting, but as the way is, we'll be talking about fertilizers this morning. So if you think fertilizers is not your forte, you had better listen, because in as much as you feed yourself, in as much as you consume food, you might just about want to listen to this morning. And we ain't going nowhere. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
And I say good morning, Tasha, wherever you are in the part of the world. Good morning to you. And I see your Papa T as well in here. Good morning, Cradle, he says. It's nice to be here again. Yes, brother, it is nice to be here again. It's what we do. It's what we have promised to fulfill in a way of a calling, if you know what I mean. And yes, this is Canada, brother. This is Canada, you know. And we turn our attention to a critical but often overlooked backbone of our economy. That's right, Canadian fertilizers. You might say, economy? It ain't all, it ain't this. But I tell you categorically this morning, fertilizers, Canadian fertilizers, one of the backbones of the Canadian economy. And the looming question, what happens? This is a looming question this morning. It says, what happens if the United States imposes tariffs on them? You might say to yourself, again? Oh, that's what I said when I saw it. I was researching it and looking through it, and in my mind I'm thinking, oh my God, my oh my. Here we go again. It's not steel no more. It's not liquor no more. But it's fertilizers. Call your friends and tell them about it. We better discuss something really important this morning. And this isn't just a trade story. I'm not in the field of telling you stories. I tell you factual things, whether you like to hear it or not. But I will do my best. And the realization of the truth where we are. This is a food security problem looming. A farmer's survival story, and a cross-border economic showdown. My, Canada is just not a fertilizer producer. And you could fact check me on this one, and you could go around, because I know people with the way we're handy with our mobile devices, we tend to just and then, oh yeah, Canada's a global fertilizer superpower. We are. We're the world's largest exporter of potash, a key ingredient essential for crop growth. And when you see all those crops flourishing, blooming and germinating, you see photosynthesis at play. And you see the maize, you see the corn, you see every crop, millet, wheat, you see all these things just in the farm field. You look at it and like, oh my God, that's beautiful. And there's some fertilizers at work there. Fertilizers work. That's the reality. We are the world's largest exporter of potash, a key ingredient essential for crop growth. Saskatchewan alone accounts for over 30% of global potash supply. Saskatchewan alone, it's one province alone, 30% of global potash supply. That's right, mark it down. We're about getting educated this morning. We're about getting there, and we're about doing what we do best. Canadian nitrogen and phosphate fertilizers also feed millions of acres across North America. It's not just coming up from the top of my head. This is research. Canadian nitrogen and phosphate fertilizers, it does feed millions of acres across North America. And here's a critical link. The United States is Canada's single largest fertilizer customer. And I say this every time, that we're more linked and more woven to be with one another than we envisage, than we do. And these are areas that we got to look at. These are things that we need to just talk about. These are areas where you could call your MP. And I said this the other time. I said, last time I went voting, MPs of this world, I don't know about other provinces. It was a national vote anyway, so it's a national thing, federal. It was me voting for my party, and I didn't even know the guys in there. That's the reality. So, is it my job now to go Google who my MP is and go tell that person and go tell that individual, and listen, what is happening again? Sometimes there should be like a townhouse where your MP, if they're responsible enough, you call everybody and say, listen, we're going to talk. I want to sample your thoughts and process and opinions. But I've not seen that happening. I've not seen that happening. I love doing this. This is Canada, people. It's a way of giving back to Canada, you know, having to headquartered here. And in coming months, we're extending bays as well. Macadam, we're extending bays. You're going to watch out for that. You're going to see that. And we'll give preference to people that have been following us from the beginning as well while doing that. Now, what we're talking about this morning, if you're just joining us, is something that a lot of people might just say, does it affect me? I mean, it does affect you. It will affect you. It will affect everything from the backbone to the core being of every Canadian. I can speak for people who don't live inside Canada. We were Canadians. But I'm saying if you reside in Canada, this is going to affect you. So kindly listen and call your authorities, your representatives, and call them. Ask them questions about what's happening. We seem to not look at the fact that farmers are the backbone of all economies of the world. We seem not to realize how the food that we have on our table gets to us, the flock that we feed on, how it gets to us. We seem not to realize that this is an integral part of human existence. We might not just exist anymore if something happens to the agricultural industry. What we're going to be eating? Exported canned foods? Oh my God. And I told you earlier, and I keep saying, Canada is not just a fertilizer producer. Canada is a global fertilizer superpower. You know, when you go like, boom, yeah, we are. And from province to the other, from one place to the other, Saskatchewan alone is responsible for 30% of global potash supply. Globally. It's like having a 30% slash of oil. You can affect that market anytime you want to. But we don't do that. We don't do that because we are fair. We're fair. Every planting season, American farmers depend heavily on Canadian fertilizers to grow crops like corn, wheat, soybeans, fruits and vegetables that ends up on grocery shelves across both countries. That's the truth. That's the truth. And now, why is a U.S. tariff been discussed? That's one of the things that I said to myself, of all the things in the world, is the U.S. trying to crumble Canada wholeheartedly? Or, and I'm not on the blaming game. Most times I want to ask a really good question, and I can ask questions on the other side. That's a wild, wild west for me. My question will readily go for leaders of my country. Because let's take, for instance, if Saskatchewan is on record as being a chief exporter of over 30% of global potash in the whole world. Have we ever thought about the fact that we could extend the sales premise of this stuff to each and every corner of the earth? That's right. We got farmers in countries that we're not supporting right now. We have farmers in countries that seems to be our adversaries right now. It just seems some people don't think. In the largest farmland in the world that is obtainable as of this moment, Canada is supporting a country that's fighting their country. If you know what I mean. I don't like going diplomatic or political sometimes, but reality needs to be told. And I say to people who care to listen every time, Canada comes first. For me, And that's why I can never blame anybody that loves their country better than any other country. Maybe everybody should start learning a rope from the guy who everybody chastises to say, oh yeah, it's this, it's that. It's not a bad thing to love your country. Them Scandinavians do it. They don't even poke their noses in other people's problems. They just stay in there, enjoying their social welfare, and what else? They're people enjoying the world. Them people enjoying the world, people. But no, we like to play roulette. And that's the way I see things. This is my country. I love my country very much, and I'm not trying to apportion any blaming game to nobody. I just want my country to survive. These are trying times, people. These are trying times. These are trying times, people. So, trade tensions don't start in isolation, all right? The U.S. has increasingly leaned towards America First agricultural protection, arguing that domestic fertilizer producers need shielding. Foreign imports distort market pricing. National supply chains must be protected. But critics say imposing tariffs on Canadian fertilizers will be like taxing your own food system. Well, that's left for them on their part of the world. What's left for me as a true Canadian is looking at avenues, areas that I can sell my fertilizers. If my neighbor don't want my fertilizers no more, it's just logic. It's just logic. Which countries have the highest farmers in the whole world? Because as we all in North America, we're not even a billion. We're not. We're not even. Last time I checked, and I'll check this one. I love checking a lot, right? It's more like fact checking. Total population. Yeah, total population in North America. All right, let's just see where we're at with this one. We're just shy above half a billion. 600 million people to be precise. That's right. 600 billion. I mean 600 million, not 600. Well, the whole world would have been in the population explosion. We'll be living on each other if we're 600 billion in this world. This little world of ours. It looks big, but it's little. It's little when you consider that only a sixth of it is landed. All right, only a portion of it, which is a sixth of it, is landed. The other is water. All right, let's look at world population as of now. All right, as of total world population. Let's just look at total world population. I know that we've increased. All right, we're 8.2 billion people in the world as of this moment. We've surpassed the 8 billion mark. There was a time where there's like 6 billion, 4 billion, but we're exploding. But out of the 8 billion that we are, if you know what I mean, out of the 8 billion, we're not even a billion, and I'm talking North America. North America. That's just a simple truth. That's just a simple truth. I'm gonna do something right now, just to check this one out real quick. So when you look at the possibilities that abounds, when you look at so many things as it affects Canada, if your market value, if your market demography is only being restricted to your immediate environment or your region, you're bound to fail. It's a simple logic. You're bound to fail. It's just It's just something that even a kid should know that. Even a child should know that. If all of your exportable goods is based off of your region, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not. So when you look at all of this and you look at in so many other ways as it comes with, your target market is based off of a total population in your region which is 600 million. So in that way, you're limiting yourself and you're restricting yourself, and you're not even giving room for growth. No, you're not giving room for growth that way. And I'm just me. If I, Akinloye, could just realize this off of the top of my head. Now, what happened to the people that are meant to be presiding over us? And that's where expansion comes in. How many people in the whole world, how many people in the entire world realize the priceless commodity that we have, which is our fertilizers? How many? Just off the top of my head, how many? We seem not to know. Oh, well, it was something else. My hand pumped into it. But if I'm getting an applause for having to say the truth, I appreciate it. All right? It just worked its way into my saying. You know, it worked its way into my saying. So, now if you're just joining us, Fertilizers Frontline, our U.S. tariff on Canadian fertilizers could shake farms, food prices, and trade relations. That's what we're talking about this morning. And if you're just joining us, it's a beauty for you to be here, and we're proud and we're glad and we're happy you're here. And don't forget, join our social media handles. We're practically on all social media platforms as CradleRadio, right? And if you're there, you could be here as well. And having to be here, or if you have any form of information for us that you might want to just, chip in at any given time, don't forget how to go about that. As simple. Just send your email through to info@CradleRadio.com. info@CradleRadio.com. I'm going to display that on screen. That's the email. You go in there, send us some information on info@CradleRadio.com, and we'll be more than glad to just, have to respond to you and banter and, whatever we could do to make it something that is responsive, if you know what I mean. My name is Akinloye. We're still here, and we're talking this morning about this thing that a lot of people might just say, what is he talking about this morning? We're talking fertilizers. That stuff that you have, that you use, that you could not do that if you want faster growth, buoyant produce, and extensive product line in terms of your commodities, your consumables, from corn to wheat and so many other things. I'm kind of looking for something there, but we'll find it later. And not only that, so many processes in food production entails the use of a fertilizer. And incidentally, Canada seems to be a big boy in fertilizer production. And we might just hit a locked door as we're talking as of now. It seems like as Canadians, we're comfortable with the aspect of we just knowing that everything runs on a smooth flow. I was watching a movie the other day, and I'm not trying to just hype that TV show, but it was about oil exploration, right? And the people that had oil rigs and all that, they went out of this world. They went all the way. They didn't stop. They were just going and looking for other ways of expanding. But what I realized is that and I've not been everywhere in Canada, so I can't speak for all of Canada, but we seem to be comfortable with mere consistency. And maybe mere consistency is not even the right word to use. We seem to be comfortable with little. I'm not saying it in a bad way or in a harsh way. I'm just saying we seem to be comfortable with little. We're not just into the, I want to go, keep going, keep growing. What happened to us trying to sell our fertilizers to China, to India? All right, to people in the Far East. What happened to that? What happened for us to market our fertilizers to Africa? What happened to, market our fertilizers to Australia? What happened to all of that? It's like putting a square peg in a round hole every time. When you put people that don't even know and not exposed and not nationalistic in their approach to things, you get this that we're getting. So, in those fertilizer production plants now, a layer just might be looming. It just might be looming. I'm not saying off the top of my head, and I'm not spelling doom. I'm just a realist. I'm just a realist.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on CradleRadio.
Now, if the U.S., as it's looking, if the Wild Wild West slaps tariff on Canadian fertilizers, the ripple effect will be swift and severe. Well, the impact on Canada, I'm more particular about that, so I'll start with that one. So hopefully we could be on the same page and understand what I'm talking about. There will be reduced fertilizer exports. There will be reduced revenue losses for Canadian producers. It will be like astronomical revenue loss for Canadian producers. Now, and this is what concerns me, this particular point I'm about making. Layoffs. Potential layoffs in mining and processing communities. That's right. Economic strain in Saskatchewan, Alberta, in Atlantic Canada. That's right. That's right. What can I say? What can I say? Now, on the other side, the Wild Wild West, the impacts, well, we'll still need to balance the story. That's what a good journalist does anyways. Well, for them on the other side, will have basically a higher fertilizer cost for American farmers, which means their crops gonna suffer as well. Increased costs of production of crop production. Increased costs of crop production. Smaller farm margins, especially for family-owned farmers. Now, I'm not talking about people who just got money from God knows where, with billionaires, trillionaires of this world, who just decided to be buying vast, expensive land, arable lands, just for their play. But I'm talking about family-owned farms that have been there for centuries. They're gonna feel it. Now, reduce competitiveness in global grain markets. It's gonna rock that boat. It's gonna rock the boat. Instability, so to say. Instability. It's gonna rock the boat. So, in a market that seems to be stable beforehand, we might just start seeing instability. And that's for certain. That's for sure. It's a part that heats everyone at home, all right? So if you're thinking, okay, it affects farmers. Okay, it affects the markets. Okay, it affects this. You might say to yourself, how does it affect me? It would affect you because there will be higher food prices. Higher food prices. There will be. It's a certainty. So if you think your food prices are on the high side right now, oh God, wait for 2026. And the problem there is that once those things, skyrocket, it goes higher in play. It never comes down. I still don't get that aspect of it. I really don't get it. But it is a world we're living in. The grocery bills, because I see banks trying to play the responsibility of individuals now by having a Venn diagram on your app showing, oh, this is how much you spent on grocery bills last month. And people are so tailored towards that in a way that all they're gonna do, or all they have to do, instead of using their brains, they just say, okay, my app shows me I spent $500 on groceries last month. Okay, that's maybe a portion, that's a percentage. We're getting to be dumb about the day, right? They say it makes it easy. Don't make my spending of my money easy for me. I want to know how I spend my monies. And that situation has bankrupted a lot of people over time without them knowing, because they're living a program life. They're living a program life. So, that Venn diagram that you see, that you look at every time, you might just see a 300% increase. And I'm not spelling doom, I'm just telling you. So wait for it. And in all of this is rising inflation pressure on an already strained household. I don't care how much you're earning. I don't care how much you are having in your pocket. In other parts of the world, food is not expensive. Food is not meant to be expensive. You're not meant to spend half of your paychecks on food. It's not about you consuming it, right? There's a limited amount to whatever you could consume at any given time, at an important time. But the reality is that in an unstable economy, everything just skyrockets. Experts warn that tariffs could add yet another layer to the cost of living crisis, both north and south of the border. And we're just talking about for both countries now. We're talking about for the households now. But in terms of the global food security, which is at risk as well, this issue extends far beyond Canada and the US, if you know what I mean. Because if a country is the superpower of potash, nitrogen and potash, which is a key ingredient in fertilizer production, that's going to affect the whole world entirely. And at a time when climate change threatens yield, at a time where global conflicts disrupt supply chains, at a time where food insecurity is rising worldwide, any disruption to fertilizer trade could reduce global crop output and increase human hunger risk in vulnerable regions. Some regions are feeling the brunt right now. It does not mean that, they've seen nothing yet. And wait for it. Wait for this instability. Wait for this instability that's coming your way. It's like to be foretold, I forgot that phrase. To be forewarned is to be foreharmed. Yeah, that's the word. To be forewarned is to be foreharmed. I hope I got that right, though. I hope I got it right.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio. This is Cradle Radio.
Canada has long argued that fertilizer trade with the U.S. is integrated, mutually beneficial, essential to continental food security. But trade experts warn that tariffs could trigger retaliatory measures. World Trade Organization disputes a breakdown of decades-long agricultural cooperation. This isn't just about fertilizers, it's about farms, it's about family, it's about food, it's about food affordability and fairness in trade. Any policymaker's way tariff, the question remains. And any policymaker that decides to neglect the issues of a tariff as it affects agricultural production, it's like you practically looking for starvation and hunger and probably disruption in the ecosystem that's already been tested and had worked. Do you protect one industry? As policymakers weigh tariffs, the question remains, do you protect one industry or risk destabilizing an entire food system? It's just my thinking, it's just my process, my thought process. Because when fertilizers become political weapons, and this goes across board in both regions and both sides of the border, when fertilizers become political weapons, everyone pays across the table. And not just across the table, but at every dinner table. At every dinner table. At what point do we say to ourselves, stop? Just stop. And at what point do we call the people that we expecting to be smarter than the average Joe that's on the streets? What are the areas that you're looking at? At what point do we ask ourselves, are you just sitting down in your office and drinking coffee? You're not expanding the frontier into cooperation with other countries. It's just one of the things that comes in mind. I want to know, and I believe a whole lot of people will want to know as well. What can we say? What can we do? All right, check out the relevant hashtags on this topic today. Hashtag Canadian fertilizers. What else do we have? We got this other one. Hashtag potash power. Hashtag US-Canada trade. Hashtag famines at risk, and a whole lot of other ones. Check it out on our page. And you could just be one of those sectors that's being affected. Who knows? Who knows? What can we say? We can only say, and we can only pray. I mean, I always say this for anybody who cares to listen. God ain't gonna come down to do for what man can do for him or herself. So, I can only say that sometimes where we play, who's got the bigger balls? Oh yeah, I said it. This is my CradleRadio. This isn't about balls. This isn't about guns. This isn't about superimposition of your will. And this isn't about being comfortable when the system just works. That's why evolution seems to be a part of mankind at all times. In reality, all we gotta do is just to breathe. And that's what an average person on the streets or in different homes just wants. To just breathe. Let the people breathe. And hopefully we could just have a headway with this one. It's not about bruising one's ego. It's not about pride. It's not about this and that. It's all about just coming together and saying, I just want people to just breathe. Because it's not about that guy that has $1 million in their account. No, it's not about that guy. It's more than that. It's not about that guy that can afford these things. How many people are already crying out and telling you, I'm being bitten by this economy at all times? You might say to yourself, well, it's nothing. We're going to source it out. And most importantly, it says a lot about people when you decide to put people in office that don't even have the wherewithal of being in those offices because they know nothing. And that's just my thought process. Don't forget, join our social media handles on practically all platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Discord, on X. We're on Where else? LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. Twitter is X, right? Is it? Yeah, I think that's X. Okay, we're on Instagram. We're on YouTube as well. Subscribe to a YouTube channel, and we try to want to do so many things all at once, but we'll get a hang of it eventually. And I'm talking about uploading past episodes on YouTube so you can enjoy as well. But we'll get a hang of it eventually. My name is Akinloye. It's been a pleasure doing this. Love doing it. And tomorrow, by the special grace of God, we'll probably be here. We will be here doing what we do best, educating, informing, and announcing, and also helping people tailor out what the next level is and what's probably going to be in the offing as we step ahead into the new years. I don't know, people. If I'm saying I know, I'm just lying to you. And I don't know. I don't know. These are tough times. These are hard times. These are hard times. And possibly the same people we elected into a place of authority or government would have to dig us out of this hole that we're in already. Well, until tomorrow, the same time, it's been my pleasure doing this. And we'll call it This is Canada, people. All right. Have a silver swell day. Stay safe. It's cold out there in my part of the world. I don't know about yours. Maybe you're enjoying the summertime and enjoying the best that it comes with. But my part of the world, it's winter. And winter is here. Have yourself a blessed day.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle Radio.